Fuck yeah.
Hello, all you beautiful people out there.
What? You just got a fire test shot, you know.
Yeah, it's
I
what you
didn't
do.
even pull that trigger.
So this is gonna be something new we're gonna try and do at least every once in a while. And we're actually not doing anything.
Yeah, welcome to Mess Hall, everybody, where somebody's playing a game and we are just talking. Isn't that our content, you ask? Kind of, except the game almost doesn't matter at all, and I don't know, it's probably going to be a little bit different than our normal content, because we're just, we're just here talking about
We're not
some
here to enjoy
bullshit.
the game. The game's just here to have something to talk over.
Yeah, that's, yeah. So yeah, welcome to Mess Hall.
Yeah. Does anyone have a topic actually right away they want to start with? You still got a fucking sniper rifle, alright.
Well,
Jesus.
If you use it,
I was trying to remember how to open the door.
You
they
walk
open.
through it. Yeah.
No, that one. The one that I got open.
You walk through it.
Ooh,
I pushed the
right up
button
the
last
fucking
time.
gooch.
Nothing like offhand. You were kind of talking about doing like some legacy gaming related stuff.
Yeah. Halo's really good for that, considering, like, what it is. And it's like, I suppose it didn't really usher in the format for FPSs, considering it has its own special fucking controls, and Halo map building is much different to any other map building in multiplayer games, or really single player games, to be honest.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, this was the first
Right.
like
My-
actual FPS that was worth a damn.
My point is more of, well, it's not exactly true. It's the first console FPS that was worth a damn that was multiplayer.
That's true. PC gaming was already
Half-Life
like
came
that's how
out in 1998.
Yeah, that's already where you had to go to your decent stuff. But I mean, even then, like Half-Life was a pretty big deal, but I'd argue that Halo was a little bit bigger of a deal.
I
You hear people
would have to agree, as much as I love Half-Life, and it's like one of my favorite games. I fucking love Black Mesa too, because god damn the commitment of one guy that's decided, yeah, cool, Half-Life Source is really awesome, but I'm gonna spend the next, let's see, it came out last year, so the next 15 years building my own remake on the Source engine. Like, and I love it. So I saw how to open the door.
You can figure it out. Doesn't matter.
Anyway, it still bothers me, okay?
Yeah, like yeah.
If I see the prompt, it's gonna fucking bother me. But yeah, in the end, I can't. Everyone talks about how it was revolutionary, and besides the fact that it wasn't a Quake clone, I really can't think of any good reasons why Black Mesa was revolutionary. We had silent protagonists, we had three-dimensional first-person shooters. It wasn't really that special in my opinion, other than it's something that I hold close to my heart. Halo definitely has something over it in that situation where, you know,
It was
it
groundbreaking.
became MLG, one of the first of MLG.
And you know, I'm a big Bungie fan, and by that I mean I absolutely hate them, as most Bungie fans do. But learning a bit more, I guess, just about like where they came from and how they got to where they are, it's kind of crazy because like they're a big gaming company. Everybody knows them as a big developer company to a degree, but at the same time, like they're kind of a small time production company. Like you compare it with something like Capcom or FromSoft or big names like that.
Namco, you know.
Yeah, like these huge names.
Bandai Namco.
Yeah, Bungie's much smaller than all of that, and yet they released one of the biggest games to ever hit the market. They did some amazing stuff, and it's kind of sad that they were only really they had games before that, and then after that, Destiny came, which I love Destiny. You love Destiny. But
wouldn't say love it, but
we hate it.
It's the way it goes.
Yeah.
I play it a lot,
But
no matter how much I fucking hate it.
yeah. But it's sad because that's all Bungie really has now. And they hang on to Halo to a good degree,
And it's
but
all
like
people recognize anymore.
Well-
Because, Like,
even then, Bungie, like, Halo was like the only thing they did that was really, really worth it.
well,
There's
yeah,
some really cool stuff in Destiny, but Destiny's so divided and it wasn't groundbreaking, wasn't recognized as like the best game ever or anything like that. Halo has those arguments. Halo has those statutes to it that people are like, this is absolutely one of the best things ever. I mean, think about the lore and the books and all that that went into Halo, or that came from Halo. Like, you know, Destiny's got some deep story to it, but nothing comparable.
that's true. But like, one of the things that's just kind of like sad to see, but I don't think in the end it really matters, is always so fucking mysterious. Because of things like this. This is the fucking Master Chief Collection, you know? For the uninformed, like, younger generation of gamers are gonna see this as, oh yeah, 343 made Halo. When in fact, they've made 2 Halo games, both of which I fucking hate 100%. There's no redeeming qualities to me in 4 or 5.
I haven't played
And they've
4,
done
but I just-
remasters. This looks good for a remaster. I'd like...
They're good at beautifying and like doing the cinematics and like bringing it up to
But
tech.
they do
but
bring that over-engineering, in my opinion,
yeah,
to the thing. Like, they don't really do it with the armor a whole lot. They do it with the armor a lot, actually. If you've seen the customization for Halo 2 Anniversary Edition. Oh my god, is that fucking cool. But, like, I just don't like where the design went once 343.
yeah.
And then they kept trying to make it. So, Halo was definitely one of the first competitive FPSs released on consoles, and you link all of them together, and that was really fucking cool.
16 people, man. That's
And then, like, the thing it had over, say, for like hosting a tournament, right? You don't need 4 computers to play, you know, a 4-person match. You need 1 Xbox to play a 4-person match. If you want more, you need 1 portion machines required, you know? And so, from a competitive standpoint, it was definitely quite the, you know, titan. It definitely pioneered the MLG existence of MLG period.
well, not just that, but like that innovation there with split screen. They were the first ones to do that, weren't they?
They
If not, they were like one of the first ones, and they're definitely the first ones that brought it to
one of the
everybody's.
ones that
living
did
room.
split screen because GoldenEye was split screen.
That's right, but
But that's still 2 people.
yeah, and they like it was.
And GoldenEye had the lock on.
Yeah. I would argue that, and this is something I've actually found. I was not somebody who played Halo a ton growing up. I played Halo multiplayer with friends, but it was always a game that I knew that I associated with just a fun time, you know, eating chips and like queso dip and pizza and drinking Pepsi and Mountain Dew, and just playing Halo multiplayer. Like that split screen, even if I knew nothing about the campaigns or the rest of it, that split screen was like it was a good enough experience that, you know, it was. I don't know, it's hard to describe. Even CE still, like to this day, is something fun to get in and do. Versus something like, you know, Modern Warfare 3. We played that for the channel. We like to play it a lot. You kind of have to go in and do things like hardcore mode and whatnot so you can get stuff off the screen so it feels a little bit better. But even then, it's kind of hard to deal with when you have that little real estate. For some reason, it just kind of worked better when they did it with Halo.
Well, there's less you really have to manage. You don't have a massive mini map. You don't see that. You have the radar in the corner of the screen, and it
You don't got your kill streak stuff in the
Yeah.
like there's a lot to go into.
yeah.
Which is not to
And then,
say
like,
that
you
I'm
can't
bashing on
see-
that game.
You can
I love
see
that game.
your like ammunition, how much you have, what's loaded, a grenade. You can switch your grenades, and it changes what's there. But you can't see what you don't have your. When you swap, you have this weapon in Halo 1, you know, because you definitely have that in Modern Warfare. But then another thing for like really just, and this I'm gonna have to like go on to a tangent on what became of Halo after 343 took over to really get this point across. Halo, so bear with me a little bit. So Halo was one of the first competitive FPSs. However, it is no longer the formula because the controls are different and the way the combat system works is drastically different when you're looking at games older than Halo 4. Well, even Halo 4 has a lot of things from Halo 3. It's just not the standard competitive format. Not talking like Overwatch, talking about fucking Call of Duty, that kind of competitive format.
CS:GO,
Your
that
shooters,
kinda-
yeah. But one of the things that honestly I don't like the most about Halo 5 is the transition to that format. You know, it's you have your loadouts, you've got everyone has a sprint. You know, what this Culminating is, I don't like it, but I really liked old Halo, and if people want to enjoy the new Halo, that's them. It's just I wish there was a new Halo game that I enjoyed. But now, with the Master Chief Collection and all the remasters and everything, Halo has something for everyone. Except for Battle Royale players. Oh no, I should not have said that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm really hoping that Infinite brings back local split screen play because I think that's one of the
Halo 4 and 5
yeah. I think that's one of the biggest things about Halo. Like I was saying, it's something you get in, you have friends over, and you have fun with.
I
understand
split screen.
Things are changing, right? You know, people have consoles now. It's not like there's one kid that's got money that has it on the block and everybody goes down to play it at his house. It's basically everybody has their own console. We're all playing over the internet and whatnot. But don't remove the option. Like, it can't take up that much more space
Love the
on the
option.
game.
And especially for like something like, I'm not gonna say Firefight because that's supposed to be more like I can relate to it, but like, you know, Call of Duty Zombies, playing that on console, you can see all the screens, and so you can kind of watch out for your teammate and just see what's going on, and if you like get downed or whatever, and that's nice opposed to a spectator mode because you're, you know, he knows you're down. That
Yeah.
screen's not working. It's not doing anything. And I really like the option to have split screen.
Yeah.
Even though I had no friends to do anything split screen with anyway when I was a kid. Also, I had a Wii, not an Xbox that would get down the street.
Also, like, I mean, it would make it easier for us, obviously, so that we're a little bit partial in that way, in that instance. But
Well, and I'd still rather be here on the couch with you guys
Then-
playing shit than
yeah,
in our room.
it's a different energy. Like, you know, there's a certain amount of camaraderie that.
I can flip you off,
Yeah.
and you'd know. Or I can throw something at you if I really want to.
If you really want to. But I don't know. It's like, you know, I've played music for a while and I played it on stage a few times, and it's like the same idea. That's like the most extreme instance I can really think of. But the just like passing of energy between people and like just that general vibe everybody's getting, having other people around, it makes such a big difference in the activity. The activity can be really, really lame, but if you have that energy, you have that sort of everybody's enjoying themselves, then whatever it is becomes awesome. And then when you have a game like Halo that is fun to play on, you know, anyway, it's a crime taking away that ability to have that energy in the room, where you know everybody can sit and enjoy themselves around one screen.
So I really want to help you real quick, Mac. Can you turn around? There's a power up. That's right there. The power up.
The red thing.
Yeah. There's all sorts of those you can get. There's a cloak. There's two of them. There's the cloak and overshield. Anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah. Just fucking run over that shit and see it.
I don't know. There's like gaming's changing, and we all know it. And I don't buy into the notion that single-player campaign games are over. I think that FedEx Simulator,
Fuck. Death Stranded.
Death Stranding. Yeah, I think that really showed that that notion is wrong. And of course,
And like,
FromSoft games,
that's
the Soul
hard
series.
fucking proof though, because
Yeah.
all you do in Death Stranding is walk. It is literally a walking simulator, but it's still like there's a lot of people that'll say, "Oh, it was fucking, it was good." No, a lot of people love that game.
I don't think there is any sort of multiplayer in Sekiro, and that's the latest Soulsborne game that's been out. And that one, again, that like it was. I don't remember which one won, but it was Death Stranding and Sekiro up for Game of the Year.
It was Sekiro.
Yeah, so that's a really really solid proof there too. That it's not dying.
It might have been Red Dead 2 actually.
Well, Red Dead was nominated, but I know
it was one of them.
It was either Sekiro or Death Stranding. I think it was Sekiro. I think you're right.
It wasn't Death Stranding. I know that.
Yeah, I know Death Stranding was up there though.
Yeah.
But I think you were right. I think it was Sekiro. And you know, with Elden Ring coming out, I think there's going to be more of a multiplayer focus on it. But I don't think they could ever stray away from the original Soulsborne formula. And that right there, that's a huge series. That's a huge fan base for that I don't think they could ever like just go away from and not have some sort of mega loss, because it would take so much away from the game. Like I know that things like PUBG and Fortnite and Overwatch and a lot more like PvP stuff, some battle royales, sometimes hero shooters and things like that, Apex, I know a lot of that's gotten really popular, and especially a lot of like younger kids see the craze and they want to jump in on it, and those are the games that they're jumping into. But I don't think that's any merit to say that the overall arc of like most gamers are going to move towards multiplayer. It
Right.
just means that the flashy games at the time right now happen to be rather simplistic formats of multiplayer games.
Well, and then another thing that like I'm not really liking right now is it's not just like, oh, single player campaigns is dead. It's really the moving away from campaigns in general that they're doing right now, and I don't like that. And single player campaigns are great, but like I like stuff like Halo 3, it's split. I look back to split screen, I like split screen
Co-op
campaigns.
campaigns are the best.
I would love some more split screen campaign games to come out. But the most recent one that I can think of that came out, I didn't really like. What was that called? You were the fucking two criminals who break out of the jail. A Way Out.
Oh.
Came out in like 2017, I think. 2017,
Yeah, so
2018.
I don't even really remember, but
Yeah, I didn't really like that one, but it was kind of a different style.
I think COVID, obviously the United States have been really poor in our response to this, and it's just kind of wreaking havoc on society. Most people think this is going to have a permanent impact, that society's going to change, and I do very much so believe in that, because we don't know when we're going to get rid of it. That's the thing. We don't know when society's going to have the chance to just kind of jump back in as normal. And I think that's going to have a really big role in how people are making games going forward too, because then they might not put in the extra effort for split screen because nobody should be going and hanging out, or nobody does that anymore. And I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think we're going to stop hanging out in person, because I mean, most of us miss that. Like, I'm a shut-in. I like seeing people through screens and not having to interact in person. I'm missing that. So I know there's a lot of people like me out there too that are like, we're at our limit. We want things to be able to be normal at the same time. So I am concerned that this is going to change how game developers think they need to make games, but I really don't think it's going to actually give a necessity to do so. And I hope that a lot of other game developers are going to take that kind of into account here. Also, kind of piggybacking off of what you're saying, Valve, my hat's off to you. Half-Life Alyx was amazing, and it was just a nice, really well made single player campaign. There's no multiplayer to the game whatsoever. It's just a really, really good story. It's a good experience. Of course, Valve they like to pioneer and stuff, and this is the first big step into VR, which in of itself is a conversation. But you came out here and you decide your test, the thing you are going to do to show off what VR could be to the world. You are going to make a Half-Life game the way a Half-Life game is meant to be played, and you're going to throw it out there, and it did amazing. It came out amazing, and I think the overall reception was as it should have been. It was, it was proportionate to how good that game actually was. So thank you to you, Valve, for not abandoning what should be in games.
Yep. Also, please don't take 10 years to develop Half-Life 3. You gave us that cutscene. Come on.
So the crowbar can't blue ball like that.
They can and will.
Also, please, I don't
Because
care.
I've played or Half-Life 2 Part 2.
Please, Valve, I don't care how sick I'm going to be. I need Portal VR. I do not care if I vomit
sounds awful, really.
I
to
would
me.
love it so much.
I,
It would be a different game, and it would probably be like they're probably going to do another Portal game for VR, but I think it's going to be in the next area of VR because we're still kind of nailing down what it is with the headsets and the controllers and the motion tracking. We're kind of like that first phase still, and I think the next gen of headsets is going to come out, and I think it's going to be just kind of still working on that. So like the Index, that could almost be considered a next gen headset, and even then
is
it's
a next gen headset actually,
it's
because
the-
that's where the definition, where the line slides between the two newest headsets for Oculus and, respectively speaking, Valve. Those are the next gen headsets because they have more resolution and a higher frame rate. They have 60 frames per second for the Rift S, I believe, and 120 frames per second for the Index. And so they're absolutely the next gen headsets.
So I still think this, like, even with the Index though, it's just perfecting on what the old headsets did. And honestly, I think the generation after the Index generation is still going to be in this first phase of VR. I don't think we're going to jump into anything crazy just yet. But I think that's when we're going to start talking about the next idea in VR, where we're going to throw in more tracking that's more supported by universally by games. Things like full body tracking or special movement tracking or things like that. I think that's going to be more of when we can expect something like a Portal game, because there's going to be more you can show off with. There's going to be more technology, more limits you can push, and it seems like Valve's just going to kind of, Alex was a test. Alex was them putting out a game to test, to kind of, feel it out and see what all they can make of a VR game, and they're going to take that knowledge and perfect it with Half-Life. I think Portal might be what they're going to use in the next phase, because we're going to have so many iterations of headsets and so many games that have come out and years that have gone into this to really be able to handle the issue of motion sickness and the nauseating effects that some of those games can have. So I wouldn't count it out personally, but I think it's just one of those back pocket things. We need another big leap in technology to get.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where things end up going.
For sure. And oddly enough, I'm kind of interested to see where we're going to go in the scheme of gaming. Because the PS5 and the Xbox Fridge are releasing soon.
This September, I believe.
Yeah, well, I don't even remember what the Xbox is called. It's the
It's
Xbox.
what the fuck is that called?
Like X. I don't know.
Series X.
Series. Yeah. Why can't PlayStation? Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's so easy. Like, you don't gotta.
At the very least, they could have named it the Xbox 720 and fulfilled the prophecy of so long.
No, they should have named it the 360, but spelled it out.
That'd be fucking awful.
Yeah, but it would at least be memorable enough to remember what the hell it's called.
Bitch, there are people that still call the Xbox One the Xbox 720.
Yeah. And don't forget how many Xbox Ones there are. Like, how many PlayStation 4s are there? There's
Xbox
3.
One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X.
Wasn't Scarlet one of them too?
Project Scarlet was Xbox Series X.
Okay, that was the working title for it.
I believe so. It was the working title for one of them.
Well,
I know the other one was Project Scorpion.
so we have next gen here, and it's different.
That was probably the X Scorpion actually. Yeah, I think Scarlet was the.
We're looking less at games, and like I'm going to get a PS5 between the two. I don't want to get one right away, but Demon's Souls Remastered, really heavy thing. I don't think that's going to hit Xbox. I think that's going to be a PlayStation exclusive. I could be wrong on that, but PlayStation has those exclusives. They have the game titles that you can't get on Xbox that are good enough to warrant getting that.
Well, and
Other than that, it's just people looking at specs. That's why people are getting one console or the other, because they're arguing hardware specs and software and things like that. So really, we're just getting closer to just PCs.
And yeah, anymore with the Xbox Play Anywhere, Xbox exclusives are basically all coming to the Microsoft Store, so you could just get them on Windows 10.
Yeah,
Like even Sea of Thieves is on Windows 10.
yeah. So there's not really a point per se in getting other if there weren't exclusives that we'd want to play for the channel or that I wanted to pick up and play for myself before like 8 months before it reaches PC, I probably wouldn't get one because they're
Well, but
expensive.
the thing with the Xbox Play Anywhere though is it would just be the same time. It's the same upload.
Yeah, but that's why I said I'm getting a PlayStation.
Right.
That's-
You wouldn't have to wait the 8 months other than for with. Right. I am
That-
understanding. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we're getting closer and closer to the idea of just they're selling computers. I mean that's what they are anyway, but they're getting less and less special and more just closer to they're just computers. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox just fully makes that jump sometime soon,
This isn't canon.
because it's literally just like
Because this was made by this cutscene was made by 343. I kind of disregarded it as canon because they kind of rewrite shit and make it stupid. Like they made Halo 2 a recollection, a retelling by the fucking Arbiter. So I don't like 343. This isn't real.
ew.
Like the lore holds up, but this cutscene's not canon.
This is most inappropriate.
Gotta clear the dominoes out of my system.
Yeah, you gonna do it in the coffee.
I just I can't believe you had Dominoes.
Yes, you can.
I absolutely can, but like I'm still disappointed in you. You know,
I am too, but I'm feeling better.
the choice of Dominoes is just such a pitiful choice.
Yeah, but most things were closed, so
It's
Better McDonald's.
look, I'm
it,
not
fi-
gonna
it
lie.
filled it filled the void a little bit more.
I'm not gonna lie. I would have rather went to Taco Bell than got Dominoes if I was in your position.
I couldn't have actually. I would have been like, I might not feel great tomorrow. My stomach might be a bit upset, but I'll be relatively okay. If I got Taco Bell instead, oh, I probably would have vomited like tonight. Like that would not have held up well at all. Believe me, I like Taco Bell. I do like Taco Bell, but I know when my body's like, listen, dude, you had it twice in a day, you're done for 6 months. You no more for you.
You've just got that weak stomach, you know.
Yeah, that's what happens when you stop eating sugar and try to eat more like just like pure like chicken and rice and shit. When you do, go back into the junk food world, you don't have much tolerance, and it kind of sucks. But c'est la vie, I guess. It's the price we pay. Anyway, I'm really anxious to see because we have consoles coming out, bringing closer to PC. We have PC gaming, which hasn't changed. It's really just been everything that it's ever been, and now we have VR. But really, that's not really any different than from what PC gaming's been. It's just kind of like a new avenue for it. Stadia, or Stadia, or however you say it, I think relatively was just they bombed.
Like
people
a lot
use
of
it?
people use Stadia, but in the end, I think that relying on streaming is not the way to go because in the end, like if your computer goes down, if you know what you're doing, you can get that back up and running. If the servers go down, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah,
Must be in the brig.
and
These look like
I mean,
holdings. There are
I know enough about
multiple
technology.
detention
It's
stations.
kind of that parable that
Captain
the
must
people that
be
know the
one of
most
them.
about
We need to keep
technology
looking
have the
for
most
him.
outdated or least amount of technology. I know enough to know that I don't fucking trust that. I'd rather have it on my system where I can access it in case everything goes down.
Absolutely.
It's much better that way. It was my mentality for a while about digitally downloaded games, and for mini games, I'm still very much so like, no, there's ones I'm okay with downloading, and there's ones where I insist I need a disc for. And those are just if I'm going to lose my game library, what am I going to do for the sake of convenience? What do I want to make sure that I have?
I get hard copies for fuck, because like I bought Recore for $20, but if I bought it on Steam for $20 or the Microsoft Store for $20, I would have gotten the game for $20. But instead, I got the deluxe edition, definitive edition with a fucking poster, special box art.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's on the wall actually, right fucking next to me every single day. And it's all the DLC as well. And so that was just a kind of a better choice in general. And I really like Freecore. I still haven't finished it on my own, but I found the game neat. The mechanics are cool. Oh my god, is the parkour gimmicky, but it's fun when you get okay at it, you know? It's not the greatest parkour, most definitely, but it's a fun game, and so I bought the disc because I wanted the special shit for it. The other example I have of that is, like, my introduction to gaming was in 2004 when I was at my cousin's and we played Star Wars Battlefront 1. And that's just kind of where it began, and I fucking love Star Wars Battlefront. I am really good at it. And so I made sure I got myself a copy of the first Battlefront for PC as a disc copy. However, I do not use it anymore, as I fucked up my files on my computer that the disc ran off of by trying to mod it, and then I just bought it on Steam because EA's dropping all their shit on Steam now.
Accessing the Covenant battle
So, you know, Stadia's there, but I don't think it's gonna last, or like they'll be there. They're not just gonna go away. But it wasn't what they thought it was. They didn't
It's
revolutionize
like
anything.
GameFly, you know?
Yeah. Well, one of them is going to still be active for a bit longer. But
Like, yeah. Honestly,
but
I don't
then-
know who you're thinking is going to be staying active for a bit longer, but I'm not going to lie, my money's on GameFly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can rent the physical copies. So it's catering to both sides.
Yeah.
Therefore, it always comes out on top.
Remember, PlayStation's releasing an edition that doesn't have a disc drive. That's where we're going with time.
Touche.
So,
Touche.
unless we're gonna have
Honestly,
like
like-
GameFly's gonna become Netflix for games, and welcome to Stadia. Like they're going to run Stadia out of business and then become Stadia.
They've been in the business of renting that shit for much longer.
Oh yeah, weird mergers.
They're gonna
Anyway,
they're gonna get bought out.
but that, and then you look at mobile gaming, which is like, look at what it is now versus what it was 5 years ago versus what it was 10 years ago. It's absolutely come a long way, and is in itself it's its own thing. You know, there's plenty of real-time strategy and RPGs and whatnot that you can get on mobile that aren't actually bad at all. I have plenty of games that I like
It's
a lot.
sad that they're not the popular ones.
It is. It definitely is.
There's
But
definitely some cool shit you can do with mobile gaming, including not mobile gaming nowadays. You can literally link up your Android to your Steam account and stream shit to your Android.
well, and that kind of brings me to where I was going with all this is, you know, with all these advancements and changes in gaming in the past little bit and where things are going, I'd really just like to see where we're going to be in 5 years with gaming. You know, how these things are going to intermingle. Are we going to start seeing Sony just selling gaming PCs that run, you know, PlayStation OS? Is Xbox just going to basically drop the idea of a console and start selling Xbox Series gaming PCs?
No.
Are we going to see a rise in mobile gaming?
Yeah. You killed Captain Keys.
Why was he in the way?
That's going to continue to like overtake and become better and better to something where we can stream from our own machines like that. Will GameFly beat Stadia? Like, there's so many questions that it'll just be kind of interesting to see.
It just makes me think of the fucking PlayStation 2. How long does it have? Project X, is it real? Dreamcast, can it be stopped? And Nintendo 64, will it survive? Dreamcast definitely was stopped, and Project X disappeared.
Yeah.
Project X is fucking gone.
It'll be cool. I would really like to see more and more of a switch to mobile gaming being more like traditional gaming. Something where, you know, obviously like computers get better and better and get smaller and smaller as time goes on. I would love to have a phone powerful enough to run most of my Steam library.
So, there's one facet that's becoming more and more prudent, and I don't like it, and that is free gaming. Because like, when I say free gaming, I mean what it has become. If you get most of the popular mobile games, you can download it, you can get a little bit of ways on your own, but then you have to pay the rest of your way. If you get, like, there's incentives to get a game for free, but then keep pouring money into it and, like, with no real return. Destiny's getting there, honestly. Like,
No.
it's the idea of the season pass is that kind of a thing where you got to keep putting money into it, you know? And I don't like that is becoming more and more popular. And I honestly believe that it might end up causing a new video game collapse like 1984.
I don't know. I like
No.
when I say that, I'm not talking about
So,
like
hold
the-
on. Max doesn't know about that, actually. I guarantee you.
Go ahead and run it down really quick.
So, the Atari came out in, like, the late 70s. And, you know, gaming thing, there's Game & Watches and shit. You can buy all sorts of shit. I think it was 1984, it might have been 1982. There was, everyone suddenly, like, it was like the fucking stock market crash. Everyone thought, no, this isn't going to go anywhere. I'm going to pull my money out. And people stopped buying systems. People stopped putting money into it as investors. And so the gaming economy basically collapsed for a little while. And then it eventually came back to things like Doom getting popular, that kind of thing. And it really, the collapse led to some of the greatest titles. You know, that's what followed up the collapse, and just monumental, amazing changes in gaming. And I think a collapse will be a good thing. However, I do not want to see one happen soon. But I really do feel like we might be coming across a second one, especially with, like, loot boxes too on top of season passes, and you pay a lot of money for DLCs that are a couple maps, and that's it.
So I feel like I should clarify. When I said what I said there about an integration into mobile gaming, I am more meaning of a, you know, phone companies or maybe even game companies like, you know, Sony and Microsoft, they, rather than making home consoles, making things more akin to smartphones. Not necessarily portable systems, but basically trying to you know, optimize games and create good hardware so you can run most of your Steam library on your mobile device. You know, maybe you have like a you know, a simple like fold out case that folds out into a controller, because I hate most controls on mobile games. I hate that. I want either a controller, mouse and keyboard, don't care, give me one of those. I hate using touchscreen controls only.
You could play Doom on a Droid too, so easily. Because it had the slide out keyboard, right?
Yeah.
And all you needed to play Doom was the space key. And since you had a full fucking keyboard,
It was easy.
I might have to get my Droid 2 and start playing Ultimate Doom on it. Because I don't think you can really find the original Doom anymore anywhere.
And here's the thing, though, like, I know there are phones that exist that could run at least half of my Steam library. Like, especially in, like, the Asian phone markets, gaming's a huge thing, and there's some really impressive pieces of hardware out there. The Razer gaming phone is an example, but it doesn't necessarily scratch the surface of what's out there and what's been made. And, you know, the last time I was really into this was when I was working in the industry, and so that was, you know, that was over a year ago. So, I can only imagine what's come since then. And I mean, the Samsung S20, for instance, that's a powerful phone. That could absolutely run a lot of stuff. What's its graphical capabilities? I couldn't really tell you. I don't know what its rendering time is for something like a game, because that's not the way mobile games are built. But, you know, I really think that we could see a movement in that direction, and I'd be okay with it. If I had a fold-out, you know, Xbox and PlayStation style controller out of the back of my phone, that would be amazing. Would it replace consoles? No. Would it replace PC at home? No. But it would definitely make the kind of shift that the Nintendo Switch did, where it's starting to bring it so it's at your convenience. You can do it as you will, wherever you will.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, you know, in the future, having like a phone more akin to a PC where, you know, you can custom build it yourself, there are parts you can take in and out sort of deal, and then you dock it when you're at home, Switch style, when you want to play something on the big screen.
We went right through him.
Did you?
I did see what
Yeah,
happened. Yeah.
Good job.
I was thinking about what I was thinking about, and so like it didn't register right away. But
Good job. Oh yeah, spank his ass.
get on.
Swiggity swooty. That guy's fucked.
There he goes. There goes
Cortana,
that
Echo 419.
dude.
We have the captain
Watch
and
him
the
as he
extraction on the
dies.
Negative, Cortana.
Don't mind
I've been
if I do.
engaged by Covenant air patrols, and I'm having a tough
So
time
good, so
shaking
good.
'em. You'll be better off finding your own
It's
ride.
there's
Sorry.
definitely some changes coming through
Acknowledged,
to
Foehammer.
the gaming industry
Cortana
right
out.
now, and
Air support
we
is
can't
cut
really
off.
predict what all
We
it's
need
gonna
to
be.
hold here until
So I have a
she can
question
move
for
in.
you, just kind of a theoretical outlook here. With phones getting more and more powerful, mobile gaming on the rise, and VR starting to become so big, so you have things like the Quest, which doesn't need a PC, so there's more demand for, for reasonably cost headsets for the average
There's a
Oh,
person to
Covenant
use.
dropship still docked.
Do you see a possibility where something like the Samsung S7 thing, where you have the Gear VR with your phone or two, do you see that becoming a more and more viable way for people to be able to actually experience and game with VR?
Absolutely.
I mean, you Bluetooth two controllers to it, and then you're good to go. You got a Quest.
I could absolutely see that being a thing.
And I mean, I had the S7, I had the Gear VR for it too. It was pretty good. Like, was the resolution great? No, but it wasn't back then. Because that was when like the original Rift or the Rift Pro was out, where you still had to like have mouse and keyboard, or if you were lucky, you had like a special controller you could Bluetooth to it. But I mean, it tracked really, really well with your head movements. It didn't delay very much. Like, I spent a lot of time in that headset, and usually it was just like listening to music and watching, there's like the Samsung Groove or whatever it was that, it painted scenes around you, and you were just kind of going through stuff and watching visuals as you were just listening to whatever you were on Spotify. But
That's it. The dropship is loose.
it was just a really, really good experience. I got to hang around in AltSpace VR for a while in that same Samsung Gear setup. Something that's still used, obviously not as much as VR chat now, but it was comfortable to use. It worked. It wasn't that big a deal. Granted, I only had like one button on it, so I didn't really have a lot I could interact with. But that was what, like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago that was a thing. I could easily see us making a transition there, and it's kind of weird that we haven't seen more of that yet. I would wager to expect that in the next couple of years to start seeing more of that style model going on. And the Quest is Oculus, Facebook saying, hey, we're going to try to find our solution to make money for us. Obviously, something like the Samsung Gear setup wasn't the most profitable for them. But
The Covenant believe that what
just
they
because
call
they're
the
not going to
silent
do it doesn't mean other
cartographer
people aren't.
is somewhere
I think
under
we're at a
this
prime
island.
time to see
The
more
cartographer is a
headset
map room that will lead us to
developers
Halo's control
coming to
center.
light.
The island has
I
multiple
do
structures and
think we will see that.
installations.
We only have
One
like
of
what,
them
like
I
2 or 3?
really would liken it to, like, and I'm aware there's still a good amount of brands, but I would definitely liken it to the not consoles actually, but PCs. You don't really see Compact anymore, but like people like Compact and everything, they start popping up, and only a few will survive. I think in that, Steam's gonna fucking survive.
I think Valve is going to be one of the biggest innovators. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to go into, like, partner with a company or start making their
Well,
own
they
mobile
did.
devices.
They do. They've done stuff similar in the past with HTC, and they will likely do it again with HTC.
That won't work for the American market.
Like, it doesn't work for any fucking market. Jesus Christ.
You can't get HTC phones anymore.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a global thing or just an American thing, but yeah, no, HTC phones are... No.
I know Huawei's not something you can do anymore.
Yeah, and I think it was a similar thing. I think it was like a spyware issue. Like, let me Google it really quick.
Affirmative. Echo 419 inbound.
For any of you curious, BTC is the Bitcoin abbreviation in the stock market. Just found that out.
Hey, don't kill
Okay,
him this
let's
time.
move out. Let's go find the map room that will show us the location
Try
of
not
Halo's
to.
control center.
Anything yet?
Nothing on like any sort of a ban or whatnot, but I am seeing that
I'll
they
bet the silent cartographer is
spread their
somewhere inside that
ventures to
facility.
things like the VR with Valve and things like that. They collaborated with Google on their Pixel line of phones, and it says HTC sold roughly half of its design and research talent as well as non-exclusive rights to smartphone-related intellectual property to Google in 2017 for about $1.1 billion. So it might just be that they just kind of like, yo, we're done.
Huh.
We're just gonna.
Maybe.
That's all I got.
You know you can pick up the enemy's weapons, right?
Oh, the enemies.
I might be wrong. So I'm not gonna watch it here. It's a unbox therapy video. Somebody who I really like watching lose open stuff. But apparently HTC released a phone this year, and that's a big deal
All right.
because they just kind of dropped out of the market for a while.
Yeah.
There, in the cliff wall. I'll bet the silent cartographer is somewhere inside that facility.
Whoa! What?
So how is the HTC phone? What's its price actually?
I have to. I'm gonna assume it's the U12 Plus because that's what they're advertising on their website as like the big thing. You want a price, specs, things
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like your typical, Huawei style phone.
Cliff wall.
Very round, very shiny. It's got the circle on the back for the fingerprint sensor.
I'm looking at the U13. Is that what you said, or am I?
I said 12 plus. There's a 13.
There is a 13, and it is all screen on the front.
Oh, so maybe they didn't like get banned or something like that. I thought it was like a Huawei thing that happens with them, but no, it looks like it might just be. They might have just kind of fell under radar for a while.
It looks like maybe it might not be out yet because I'm not able to find them in like shopping. But not gonna lie, I might get a. Cause I like, so I definitely enjoy my Oculus over fucking HTC because I don't have to charge my controllers. I slap in batteries and I'm good. And it's just a fucking, if I need a charge, I got batteries. I always have batteries.
I
But
personally
think-
go the other
I
way.
really, do think there's a lot more quality behind HTC, and I do respect their equipment quite a bit.
I think personally, I'm not regretting what I got because I got what I got for asking price instead of inflated COVID prices. but I would rather have the option to charge them or have to charge them. It's the same, you know, it's the age-old, you know, the PS3 old, PlayStation versus Xbox, you know, argument. Bruh, I need some batteries. Brody, get some batteries. I don't mind charging them after every use. I
I've
really
always
don't.
got batteries, and like the issue is,
My analysis
see,
indicates
here's the
that
thing.
room should be at the
I
bottom floor
don't
of
know
this
that
facility.
you've really done
Let's keep
it
going inside.
enough. I know I have though, and I know I've so VR chat. I
Yeah.
was living there for a while,
Yeah.
and
let
so
them lock the
was
door.
Caden, who's been on this channel many times.
And you don't know.
Right. One time he was even written out of being on the channel.
I
But that's not
underestimated
our
the
fault.
Covenant's understanding of
Mario
Halo's
Galaxy's a
subsystems.
bastard.
They've locked the
Anyway,
doors, and we don't
I
have enough
would- we would play.
firepower to get through them.
His controls would die, so we'd have to sit there and charge them because he can't use them while they're charging. I would just change my batteries, and I was good.
That does sound pretty handy, but
The Covenant have impeded our progress.
like,
Realistically,
proceed
the
unless we
best
can disable
option
this
would be
installation's
like
security
Xbox
system.
One controllers, where you can do both.
I would, that would be cool. Having the ability to like, because like if you could, it had like battery pack, like Wii style like rechargeable battery packs.
Right, yeah.
And then just like slap those in the charger, pop in some double A's in the meantime, and then once they're done, slip the other ones back in. That at least halves your battery usage. So I think it's a fair compromise there,
Echo
but
419 to ground teams. I'll stay on station and keep an eye
I don't know
out
that
for
I have the capability to do that, but I would literally have to like have friends in VR chat to do that. I'm not just gonna hang out there by myself for that much.
It's definitely something where you're like,
We need to find the security override
well,
to get
it'd
this
be something
door
like where you
open.
get involved with like a couple people and you're just hanging out with them all fucking night.
Yeah, like I could definitely do that, but yeah, I don't know there's anybody I know IRL that I would just hang out with in VR chat that long. And I know I couldn't do that with you either because you couldn't do that. Because
I
you
used to
don't-
be able to, but my system's fucking died.
Exactly,
Yeah, I need to get a new
exactly.
computer. But and like I theoretically could, I just don't want to risk it because there's two drawbacks right now with that. One is my game crashing repeatedly. The other is the amount of heat my computer starts to put off, and that I have to deal with that for the rest of the night.
I'm really considering,
And
like,
it's summer.
I need to buy more fans for my computer. Like I need to get more memory and then more fans. But I'm really considering just taking my box fan whenever I'm playing and just like opening up the side of just taking the window off and then just aiming the box fan straight at it. Just I blow the wind of God on you.
It looks like there is a path into the interior of the island.
Feel the air. Because like my system doesn't get too hot by any means, but it gets warmer than I'd like it. And also my room is fucking hell. I have brimstone and fire. Demon sweat in my room.
Yeah, I sweat in this room.
And say you sweat in my room?
Yeah.
When are you in my room?
Oh, we had to replace the TV tonight.
We were in there for like 10 seconds.
Look, man, I'm just
Enough
trying to
to
play
sweat.
off you saying that demons sweat in your room. You don't have to fucking make this an ordeal,
Oh,
okay?
okay, I was more just kind of like, wait, hold on. When have you been in my room?
Like, literally that one time. Or like,
You like duck in sometimes to look at like my PC.
well, yeah,
yeah,
to,
just like look at that.
For the Topia campaign, the fish campaign,
The fish campaign.
and I was
Looks like
choosing,
there's
yeah,
a
but yeah,
path into the
I
interior
do
of
duck
the
in every once in a
island.
while, but it's not, I don't like being in there for more than just ducking in.
Yeah, it's warm and
It's not because, hold on, it's not anything against you or the way you keep your room. I can't be in anyone's room for more than just ducking in and then I'm out. It's more of a comfortability thing for myself.
I get that, and I wouldn't be offended otherwise either. Like,
No,
you know,
it's
you do
more
you.
of a, for the viewers at home,
Yeah, it's just,
I don't have a problem with the person, I've got a problem with the activity.
I keep my room at a wonderful balance between
85 in hell.
well, I was gonna say picked up and completely junkyard. Like there's enough chaos to denote that somebody lives here, but also you could walk. everywhere pretty easily, and I know where everything's at without having to like dig through shit. So like it's not that bad. It's my
It
organizational
looks
system.
like there
It's
is a
not. I
path
hate it.
into the interior of the island.
Yeah, you know, with how hot it gets in there, and that's partly my fault because I put off so much goddamn heat from my body, especially if I'm moving. Like if I'm playing VR, it gets really hot really quick. I can have the AC on in the house. I can have all my fans going, window open. It's still gonna get hotter than hell in there. So I might actually start just opening that bitch up and just aiming my box fan at it. Just get the air you need. I got a 2070 in there. I want to make sure that thing gets treated nice.
I run cool, and so I generally like things hotter, or I do stuff to keep me hotter. And then where this is going with like my job, I insulate myself. People call me fucking crazy, but they don't understand how jackets work. And the fact that insulation is a two-way street, so as long as I am unzipped in the truck, when I zip up, I'm going to be able to maintain my stable body temperature for much longer than if I was just to be out there with nothing around me. And so I wear a sweatshirt and a jacket. It was 103 on Friday, and I'm out there doing that. I can do that great until I have to put on gloves. Because when I put on gloves, your hands and your feet put off the most body heat. That is where all your heat goes. But if I put on gloves, that's not going anywhere. That's going inside.
That's why most people can't sleep with socks.
I was gonna say it's actually so like when I'm wearing stuff, it can be hotter than hell out. I'll have a
looks
hoodie
like
on and
there
it's
is a
fine,
path
but
into
it's
the
rolled up
interior
to
of the
my
island.
like it's my hoodies are almost always rolled up to my elbows, and I wear socks like these, you know, the like cutoffs or whatever at your ankle, and I never usually have like super thick shoes. And so that's if those are covered up, like my hands or my arms or my, you know, like my ankles and stuff like that, if those are super covered, oh yeah, I'm dying. I'm absolutely dying. Oh god, and if something's covering my ears too, that makes it so much worse. But otherwise, as long as that's uncovered, like it's totally fine.
Yeah, I do, and I do actually in 103-degree weather wearing a thick black jacket and a sweatshirt underneath it. I do fucking great. You know? But that's just me not producing enough body heat to be alright unless I'm wearing fucking gloves. And then I become a human all of a sudden. Yeah, I still have a pulse. I'm not a dead body.
Just gotta make sure. Just gotta double check.
Just
Haven't
gotta
gone
check.
vampire yet.
Yeah. Might as well be, though. I can't see in the sun.
It's time for that suck.
Yeah.
Oh lord, I like this. I like this area.
I
like the water.
So, the Silent Cartographer is, like, one of the most popular levels.
It
It's
looks
a bit
like there is
repetitive, but it's,
path
like, really
into
nice.
the interior
What I would
of
do,
the
Max,
island.
is I would flip that over and use the chain gun,
Oh, that's a good idea.
right?
That's why he had it.
Well, I thought it was going to be a little more clear.
There you go.
Yeah, it's much easier. I was just thinking I was going to drive my way up there, but after walking up, I don't think so.
And like, look at how much shit's up there, though.
Oh, you can absolutely get it up there.
You
I did.
can,
Well, hold on. I did, but that's because I'm good at driving Warhawks.
You can, but I don't think that they intended on you taking it up there. When they have a small opening like that and they crowd shit in front of it, that usually
fuck,
means
dude,
don't
though,
bring your
You've seen
vehicle
how
here.
far I got my fucking Warthog on
You saw-
missions in Halo 2.
You saw how far I took the fucking Scorpion in Halo
Oh
2.
yeah, you got it fucking far.
Farther than I think I should have, but
I fucking... That's another thing with Halo, is like, a lot of games try to build off the sequels, and they just fall short in some way to the original, you know? A good example of that right now that everyone's talking about is The Last of Us. I'm not going to make any comment on that, okay? I will not get involved in this fucking debate. Do not drag me into this. After saying it's one of those games, there a lot of people are fucking disappointed in the sequel. And granted, there's a lot more time between development of that. Halo 1 and Halo 2. The Halo sequels were really fucking good. Up to 3 and then up to ODST and then the prequel being Reach. They just the storylines became solid, you know? And it was really, really fucking good.
Like, 1 is kind of you don't necessarily have to play 1 to understand
It
what's
was
going on.
rushed. If you've listened to the story of how it was created, we just did that like 2 days ago.
Yeah, and
it was absolutely fucking rushed.
but
and
2
ridiculously rushed. They rebuilt it 3 months before its release.
But 2 and 3, that is such good storytelling. That is
Absolutely.
so good.
And like they made a decent fucking cliffhanger in Halo 2 and didn't fuck up the sequel. You know?
Yeah. And the fact that they were able to come in, I still haven't played ODST, but I want to. But I know it's another one of the good ones. And Reach, obviously, is a masterpiece. That they're able to come in and tell 2 more stories.
Right.
In all of this, that you didn't even need to play the other games. You didn't need to know anything about the other games. They were in themselves just this complete package. They just happened to also be in the same universe, also be in the same setting and all that kind of
Well,
stuff.
then ODST was like a real different spin on Halo, because overall the atmosphere of like the actual levels and everything looked much darker. It felt darker. You weren't the super soldier. You were the special ops.
Cleanup crew.
No, you're the special ops.
Oh wait,
Because
that's
they're
right.
ODSTs.
They drop ODSTs first and then send Spartans.
It's Marines, ODSTs, and then Spartans. It's just a level of armor and the genetic engineering. You gotta be good to be an ODST. You gotta be abducted as a child by a mad fucking witch and then subjected to brutal experimentation to become a Spartan. Until the later games where they're like, yeah, you just train. I'm looking at you, 343, in your Halo fucking 4 and 5. Enough bashing them for that.
There's never enough
This
action
just-
for that.
Yeah, I really fucking hate those games. Yeah.
Use
Halo
the
5
holo
was
panel to
my
shut down
that's
the
a,
security
like-
was my introduction to Halo
I
campaigns, and it
seen
was
the
such a
fucking
bad thing.
Speculation for Infinite and like, where's the story gonna go from Halo 5? And
Hopefully,
you've
nowhere.
played. I don't know how far you got into the story
Good.
of
Five?
Halo
That
3.
should open the
Oh,
door
Halo
that
3.
leads into the main
Not.
shaft.
We did a few missions, but I really didn't know what was going on story-wise. Wasn't paying attention. The Red versus Blue reference in the early mission was like the biggest highlight. Also, I had to keep remembering that. Oh yeah, I'm playing with a friend, and friendly fire is on in this game.
Yeah.
Because hey, Call of Duty, it's a little different.
Yep. So there's a deeper lore, and there's like a lot of it. I don't have enough, like, of a memory to tell you all the stuff that I know about, like the flood and everything, to where I can be like, this is what happened and this is why this is this. But basically, it sounds like they just fucking abandoned an entire storyline about Cortana, an entire facet of Cortana's development through from Halo 2 to Halo 3.
Understood. We're on our way.
Gone. And I believe the thing they did was like, yep, she's falling apart because she's an AI and she's been in service for 7 years. AIs are only supposed to be in service for 2 years. Which
That's a lot of money to
I'm
spend
gonna
on 2
cheat. I'm gonna fucking tell you something that you don't have the information for right now yet. That's not why Cortana's fucking up.
I know, like, I have an idea. I like.
You've
I
saw
know
her last cutscene. so-
Yeah, I know enough about
Chief, Bravo 22 was
some
bringing
story
us some
stuff.
heavy
That,
weapons.
Right.
After I saw we were up
And,
against hunters, I
Like,
thought you
maybe
could
I'm
use
wrong. Maybe I just got
Let's
some
move down the beach.
misinformation.
Keep an
But
eye
from
out for
what
any cargo we
what
can
it
salvage.
sounds like, I'm just really disappointed. Oh, and not to mention the whole, we didn't know Master Chief was the main character. There were literally only 2 out of 5 games where he's not the main character.
I'm pretty sure Infinite's already shown Chief, so I think
They
that's,
have.
yeah,
It's literally the first trailer.
yeah. So
There-
that's already
it
where
is-
we're going.
Oh my god, it is.
I want them to abandon Chief. I think
It
Chief
is-
needs to be done.
So the trailer, I'm not going to tell you to watch it. It's really not that interesting, but they're on a Pelican, right? It's this, not they're on a Pelican. It is this Master Chief is on a Pelican in like his armor's locked or something, or he's in a fucking stasis tube, and there's this random mechanic, and he wakes him up. I don't remember all the lines because I haven't seen it in a while, but he wakes him up. Oh my God, you're awake, kind of a thing. They're out there. I don't know if it was the Covenant. It was some. They're out there. We need to fucking run. And Master Chief goes, "No, I'm going to finish this fight." And just fucking reuses a Halo 3 or a Halo 2 dialogue line. And it's just, I don't know. Maybe they'll make a good game, but it's just the
Maybe
dumbest,
it'll be a
the
Doom
dumbest
clone.
fucking trailer.
It's the whole game is just like that's what Halo 1 is you just eviscerating the Covenant, but maybe they'll just go straight up Doom on it, and that's like it's
You
just a
mean like
hack.
they did with Halo 5, and you're fighting basically demons?
I don't even remember that.
You fight the Forerunners because they get brought back to life.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
And
play
they've
that
got
part.
like the skull heads, and they just look like fucking demons. No, Halo 4 is what that was, I think. Halo 4 or 5, it was just...
5 was just lock and
Look, I don't
Chief.
dignify Halo 5.
You shouldn't, but there's a lot I have to complain about Halo 5
Halo
after
4 was a
playing.
disappointment,
the
but
ones I
Halo
played.
5 was a dropped baby.
I've played Reach. I've played 2. I've started 3, but we're going to play through 3 all the way. I played a bit of CE as well. And like I said, that was all after Halo 5, which was the first campaign Halo game that I've actually sat and played through most of the way. And
Honestly, can we
honestly,
just put that somewhere I don't have to see it?
what are you looking at?
Halo 5.
Oh, you're just looking right at it because it's right down here.
Like, flip it around, I guess, you know?
Here it can go down. It'll go on the bottom tier of the shelf lamp where it can't be seen.
To the corner.
It's in the corner. But like I really didn't like it because the movement system felt clunky, and I played Halo before, so I knew that it wasn't going to be the same kind of movement and controls that I was used to. But the weapons felt awful. The hitboxes were just
What the
kind
fuck,
of
Chief?
meh. Like, and the story wasn't interesting at all. I didn't care at all, and that's what Halo was supposed to have over Call of Duty. Was the story was supposed to be so much better, and so that's where it's just like, yeah, I'm really not a Halo guy. This kind of confirms it that I'm really not super into Halo. And then I played Reach. Long time, about year and a half, 2 years after the fact, I played Reach for the first time, and I've never like. It's been a long time since I've had myself like proven wrong in that sort of manner. That sort of feeling of like starting a game where you had a negative outlook on how it was going to be, but once you got into it, you just fell in love with it. Like it was an amazing experience. It made me understand one what Halo can be, and Halo 2 brought it to light a lot better too. But what Halo is and what it is to a lot of people and why people say it's so good. But 2, it showed me what 343 did. It showed me what
Right.
Halo 5 was. And I just
Yeah,
I'm not going to get Infinite. I have no plans to get Infinite.
I'm going to watch Infinite, but I'm probably not going to get it because, as I said, like, off camera multiple times, Halo or 343 are really good at making games look pretty. Graphically speaking, I still hate the fucking over-engineering they've done with the designs. But they're not allowed to have an original thought of their own. Everyone they've come up with has been awful.
Hey, what if Chief did this? Hey,
What if we advertise a game where it looks like it has two endings, right? You can either play as a playthrough Master Chief's ending and take down Agent Locke who was hunting him down, or you can play as Agent Locke and take down the infamous Master Chief. But then we didn't do that. And then we made them best friends.
343, this is me Hey guys, my name is Master Zidian. Talking to 343 as you guys. I want you to play through Halo Reach because I don't think you have. And
Halo
I want you to really contemplate on what makes that game different from your normal main series Halo game, and I want you to leave Master Chief the fuck alone because you're running out of material. Halo 5 shows that. They're just
I'd play an Agent Locke game if it was good.
if it wasn't let's hunt down Master Chief because he's a bastard. Why is he a bastard? Because I decided he is.
We're gonna frame literally the person that is destroyed not 1, not 2, but 3 out of 7 galactic scale super weapons, therefore saving humanity 3 fucking times.
And the premise is awful.
And that's how I'm done.
What was really good about Reach? You were just a person.
It
You
got
weren't
you
special.
emotionally invested in the characters because everyone had their stories, everyone had their distinct personalities.
And you were told right away that you don't matter. Who you were before does not matter. This is
We
where you
are a
are.
team.
You're going to learn how to be here now, and this is what it's going to be.
Yep.
And it made it such a better experience. It had nothing to do with Master Chief. It had nothing to do with what Halo has hung on to for way too long. Make another. Don't make Halo Reach 2 because the person in Reach, Noble Six, does not matter. They died. Let them die. It's fine, right? You know, don't touch that. Don't touch that again. But make another game like that. Pick up somewhere else and make a story about literally anyone else and
Honestly,
give them good
make
story.
it closer to ODST because I don't trust them to handle
The manipulation.
the specific way it plays out, you know? There is an ending to the game, alright. But that ending's just, it starts into Halo 1, and I don't mean that in this, I'm trying to be as vague as possible, like, it ends definitively, but that's just the way it is. There's nothing you could have done about that. I don't...
I didn't hear him coming.
Oh, that's some Skyrim space program shit right there.
Didn't know he was there.
Oh, yeah, there's not really games that make the storyline and the story that Halo Reach had and pull it off successfully.
I think 343 knows how to make a game. They know how to put the mechanics in, they know how to make the graphics, and they know how to make it look really good and feel really okay. But they're focusing on Chief. It's like they learned that Master Chief was the protagonist in this and now have decided that literally every Halo game has to involve Master Chief, and without Master Chief, Halo doesn't exist.
But they
And that's
decided
not-
he's the antagonist.
But that's not... Well, now in 5, but even then he wasn't.
Yeah.
Have you played 5?
Hell no.
You play through it was a Halo 2 kind of thing. You play through half the time
Yeah,
as Chief.
that's cool. I like when games do that. But I'm familiar with Halo 5 and what it's done.
Well, yeah, but the whole
And so they'd obviously fucked it up quite a bit.
I think they're focusing too much on Chief, and yes, Chief's important in Halo, but at the same time, like
The way he's important in the sense that in the way Cortana said. She could have chose anyone, but she chose Master Chief. He's not really special he wasn't really special because he was strong. He was special because he was fast, because he had luck. And I think, realistically speaking, his luck needs to run out.
or let him retire. Let him die a hero's death. Something. Make a new hero. If you want to focus on a hero, make a new hero. Make new story. Make new things happen. Don't just keep riding the same cash cow pony that's just making it tired. Like I know, Nintendo makes a shitload of Mario games. They make a shitload of fucking Zelda games. Like there's a lot of them that just keep using the same characters over and over again.
We'll be in a
They
But
make
those
it
are
work.
platformer games. You're playing those to be Mario. You're playing that to be a
Find that map.
platformer game.
And Zelda
You're there to
games,
dump
it's
shit.
literally different every single game. It's a different premise every single game.
Like
Halo's not. You're just beating a dead horse.
yeah. The only thing outside of the characters that is the same in every fucking Mario game is the type of worlds, and the first level. That is it. Everything else is completely unique, and they make it a special game every time. Have you ever asked someone what their least favorite Mario game is? Because could they even fucking tell you unless they hate Mario? I hate 3 because it's hard, but I love 3.
Probably Mario 2.
Halo's
I
control
love
center
Mario
is
2
located
though.
there.
I think it's a good game, but
That
if I had to
structure
pick my
appears
least
to be some
favorite
sort
Mario
of
game, it's
temple or
definitely
shrine,
Mario
if I
2.
interpreted this correctly.
Nope, I take it back. Mario Run
A shrine is an
on the Android
unlikely
store
place
because you
to
can only
protect
play the first 3
significant
levels and then you have to buy it.
I
Cortana to Captain Keys.
would like to exclude that.
The captain has dropped
You
out
told
of
me to pick,
contact,
man. I picked.
Cortana.
You know what?
If I can't pick
Honestly,
that, then
you
it's
know
back
what?
to Mario 2.
Fair enough. Mario Run is the worst one, but everyone's gonna say it's the worst one, so.
And I have determined the location
And you know what? It's still fun. That's the thing. It's still fun to play.
trying.
But here's the
Let
thing.
me know when you've reestablished
Not many other
contact,
game
and then
series
tell
are
us that the Master Chief and I
hanging
have
on to this
determined the
one
location of the
face
control center.
that they're doing stuff with. And honestly, 343, if your justification is because he's Master Chief, he's Halo, it's bullshit. If you're trying to compare yourself to Nintendo, like, you're not even in the same league. That's not to say Nintendo's league's better. I think it is. But no, they do a completely different formula from what you and what most people that develop for things like Xbox and PlayStation do. It's totally different. You can't hang on to the same rules. You're
Nintendo
losing your
is
fan
a
base.
company for family fun games.
They make really they make just games that are they're just fun. They're just pure
simple
fun.
to get the hang of. Like, they're for all ages. Let's see. I'd like to. I know I'm doing this a couple times. Please ignore Bayonetta.
We don't talk about that one, okay? They partnered with Playboy. It's a whole.
But in the end, as a whole, you know,
There you go again.
as a whole,
Blasting
they are a
off-
family-friendly game company that does family-friendly games for family fun. Have fun.
And on the other side of the coin, they make
You are an FPS company.
they make games that are really artistic and have a lot of work put into the art, into the music, into the the storytelling, and in the end, it's still, I won't call it like hand-headed or like, it's obviously not family unfriendly, but like the difference between something like Majora's Mask and almost any Mario game, there's a pretty big tone
Oh yeah.
difference there.
Oh yeah.
But that's what Nintendo does. That's what they've been doing, and it's what they will continue to do because it just works so well for them. They do it so good. You are not them. You are not going to ever make a game like them. You are a completely different genre. Please don't try to do that. And I don't think that they are. I don't think that they're like, oh well, they can keep using Mario, they keep using Sonic, so we can keep using Master Chief. I don't think that's the case. I mean, I'm trying
They're
to
working
think.
with the characters they've got, and they try. And here's another thing that, like, unless they watch videos with people with things like us, they're going to
won't.
see the idea that their characters are bad because when they introduce characters, no one liked their characters. You know,
Spartan
And so
Lock
that's- yeah,
was a blank slate.
it was. They
So
could've-
you could have done anything with Locke, and you
and
know
they
what?
still can't. There's still an opportunity. However, you've already shown Master Chief real good. Unless he's like gonna be a fucking main character that's not a PC, you know? If he's gonna be according to storyline but not the main character, that's different.
I have an idea.
Holy
Halo
shit.
5.
That's
Here's-
absolutely possible. Because we've got that one guy, the technician.
Shit.
Who? What?
The technician that will come up. What if that's the PC? I don't want to get my hopes up. I should really just
I
stop.
doubt it. I doubt it would be.
But-
But Halo 5. I'm redoing Halo 5. Here's what you do. You want to make Chief the bad guy. Chief's running rogue. He's not listening to orders. He's going off on this weird thing. You're Spartan Locke. You're going to hunt him down. You play a couple missions. You follow his trail. You find Master Chief dead. When you do, you find encrypted information in his suit that shows he knows the location of the next Halo. He knows how to get there. He knows that the Covenant's there or whatever's there. He knows something's about to be bad. You as Spartan Locke now need to pick up the mantle of Master Chief and go save the goddamn world. And Spartan Locke's not Master Chief. He's going to handle all of it differently. You can literally just rewrite Halo CE and it would have made a better game than Halo 5.
Yeah, it would have. But they'd also have to write Red 4 for that because instead of going to eventually say Cortana.
Again, they're grasping onto things that they should really
And
they
the
should
mission to
write their
save
quick
Cortana
into.
could be absolutely good. It could.
It could, but
Will it? Nah. Probably not. I don't have my hopes up. Fuck, that's coming out like next year, isn't it? God, curse my fucking bare fingertips.
Bungie. I know you decided you were done with Halo when you were. And honestly, it makes sense. You wrote the story you wanted to write, and you know it was pretty good. Obviously, the 2 games that 343 is pumped out, like we keep saying, beating a dead horse. Like, it's not adding much to anything, and it's really not great. But Bungie, if you were going to make another Halo game, if you were going to be paid to make another Halo game, you guys decided you wanted to, where would you take it? Would you make another Reach? Would you make another ODST? Would you keep using Chief? Would would you take and create a new hero to replace Chief? Kind of like what I described as Locke? What would you guys do with it? Because honestly, I think you guys would have handled it better. And even now that you've been doing Destiny for a while and you haven't had your hands in making Halo for a while, I still think you guys would come up with a really good idea. And, you know, if anybody has an answer to that, I'd really love to know. If this ever gets around to anybody at Bungie,
Oh, I'm
I'd
such
really
an
like to know
idiot.
that.
What possible reason would a Microsoft Studios Bungie abomination like the Xbox Series X comes out late 2020. It comes out just like that. That's gonna suck. It's going to have a first title. Of course, you're gonna be able to buy Halo with an Xbox Series X.
Oh, you didn't think it was gonna be a launch title?
Of course it's gonna be, like, it's only PlayStation I have on my PlayStation that I can buy is Custom Market. Just flat, that's all it says. But of course it's gonna be a launch title.
It has to be.
Because it's Microsoft's
That's all they have.
well, it's not really all they have, but it's the title they have. Fucking italicized. Because it was there from the first Xbox to the last.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people argue. I don't know specs differences between the PS5 and the Series X. And from the people that I am friends with, it seems like they said that the Series X is better, that the specs on it are better. That might be, but
It's literally, it's also gonna, its initial release date's gonna be with the fucking Microsoft Windows too,
so yeah. But
it's just back to that thing we've already had the fucking conversation about of the exclusives for Xbox don't really matter anymore.
yeah, it's like the specs are good. If they're better on the Xbox, that's cool. But in the end, like you're gonna have all the same games available across PlayStation, PC, and Xbox, except for the ones that are only available for PlayStation. So please tell
You want
me
me to do this for you?
why
Matt?
I would get an Xbox.
Trying to run out.
Nice use. Nice little skip there.
Second counterattacking.
Do that.
Go ahead.
I wanna see the master at work here. Gotta take it off zoom and shoot.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's fine.
Oh, is it Recon? Universal Default. Yeah. That's my fucking...
Yeah, that'll that'll get you dead, my friend.
Ah, fuck. Sniped.
So, you know, Halo's kind of been at the core of everything we've talked about today. I'm gonna pose a question to you, and I think I know the answer. We were approached by an alien race, an alien conglomerate, who offer us advances in technology, you know, interstellar travel, all that. But it's a bit of a
Oh fuck! I fell.
covenant sort of situation where we're
Damn it! I'm
joining.
not doing much better.
We're joining their.
Other than I
collective.
killed one.
What would you say to that?
I'm not following the great fucking journey, my guy.
I'm not saying literally the covenant, but that sort of organization. Like we have to join their rule, but they'll take us and elevate us from what we currently are.
I don't know. I have, like, maybe.
I think it would have to do a lot with what their system is.
So there goes one.
The religious just kind of craziness of the covenant's a bit much for me. But you know, if they were just like, you know, ruling, they were just, you know, they just wanted to oversee it because they want to build their empire, you know, I'd totally be down for that because I think humans suck at our jobs. I think we're really bad at telling ourselves what to do.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, why the
So-
fuck are there more here?
You know, somebody
Max.
else with different physiology might be better.
Max, why were they still alive?
Did you not watch them run through this area like 3 times?
Oh, it was more
We've been
than that.
talking,
That was
man.
my
We've
goal.
been talking. I've been distracted.
I was just trying to run through them. I thought I checked out all this.
Quit running away like a fucking bitch. Come here, down here and fight me, you motherfucker.
Don't hurt the worms. The worms don't want to get hurt. Yeah, I can't imagine what those spikes are for, really. Because they're not going to serve much of a purpose. And like, if you've ever had stuff like that on your
Your
back,
enemy can't kill if they're dead.
it's awful.
It's okay, Max. I play a lot of fucking Halo.
Even then, you're just addressing the problem.
Whack. That's my favorite part about Halo, really, is the fucking melees. Belt, train track, belt, meaty whack.
Dead Jack.
Fuck you.
You know, I really love the music in this game because it's
Ugh.
awful.
It's great.
It's
Because
good music, but it doesn't fit literally any of the themes ever anytime it's playing.
Oh, it really just doesn't. That's exactly like we were fucking watching Noodle, like one of
Yeah,
my
I know.
favorite fucking people. He's like,
It was like
yeah,
this
you could
smooth-
you could be having this firefight, but you're getting this fucking nice tribal music for it.
Well, no, it was like smooth jazz that he was showing because it was just kind of
not
like,
smooth jazz because they don't have. Well, I suppose it was smooth jazz, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, that's acid jazz, isn't it? There's a lot of fucking jazz.
it was jazz. It was like bass and just kind of.
It's all swing to me, baby.
I don't understand where and why we have like tribal war music at this point
Give me that.
because we're on a spaceship fighting aliens.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's really like. I fucking love the music in Halo.
I love the disregard
Because
for
it
theme.
really doesn't feel like it should fit, but it fits so well because it doesn't fit. It's like Black Mesa, you know? And now I talk about that all the time. Like, you can't have the Black Mesa soundtrack for anything else very easily, but because it's Black Mesa, it works.
just works. Where does it go? I don't know.
Surprise! Oh, fuck. Where are you, blue boy? Saw your ass. Here, you can fucking take it back now. I got you past that.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Oh, you better run. Don't let him hit you, man. They're gonna fucking one-shot you. Okay.
all of that work.
I made the... Hey, at least you made it past there still. Yeah. No, go out to the balcony and get ammo. It's that side, yeah. And a health pack, man. Treat yourself. Also reload, you have 4 rounds.
Oh, I just fucked up the buttons.
Yeah. It's,
That's gonna be interesting.
here, you
Bumper.
can change it back. But yeah, it's bumper to reload. Yeah. You can definitely change it back if you want to.
I have a question for you, and
That
I'm going to
makes,
pose this
um,
question
melee.
outwardly.
This button changes it, and then this is the grenade. This changes what your grenade is. So if you wanna play with it, that's how you do it.
So
Okay. Cool.
I'm going to pose this question to anybody watching this. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Moving off of Halo a bit here. More looking to the future of gaming, I firmly believe it's going to become more and more integral in our normal gaming practice. And it already has taken a lot more commonplace than I thought it would have as quickly as it did.
Oh, and B's melee.
Yeah.
But I really think there's potential for your traditional tabletop RPGs to move into a more digital sphere because of VR. And it doesn't have to necessarily come with VR. You could definitely have a desktop client for it as well too. But you know, if you sold like you know, really expensive, like maybe it's like $100 for the game, or maybe it's, you know, a subscription based thing. You have to pay for it on a regular basis. I would do so for something like official like D&D platformed game, where you have, you know, all the tools you need to set it up as like a DM, but also like as a player, you can actually fight in combat. You actually, like, it automatically rolls things for you. You don't need to worry about it. Your stats are set in there. You can pick your spells and you can go there and do it. It takes a lot of the paperwork and the numbers out of it, but it, you know, it lets you just kind of act it out, feel it out, and focuses more on the role play than you have to worry about the mechanics of it.
I don't know.
I think that would be really, really cool.
It's neat, I guess. But at that point, I'd rather just have like an actual VR tabletop like experience where it's not the tabletop, you're actually in that situation, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, no, I'm not talking about like in this game you sit around a table. No, I'm talking about like
Okay.
there's advanced character creators that constantly gets new stuff added to it. That's why I'm saying like a subscription service sort of deal to be able to use it. But like it's constantly being added to. It's got a creator's market to it, so that you can make and share and whatever across places. You can make campaigns and post them, and a really, really easy to use DM tool for all of it. I want to see these cities that, you know, are talked about. I want to be in a tavern interacting with the NPC that
Do
I'm
you need me to
talking
get you past this guy?
Just gotta redo, figure the buttons.
You know the plasma does stick to things, right? Especially creatures.
The plasma grenades.
So when he goes warg warg warg, stick him.
Oh, I'm gonna stick them right.
Warg. Yeah. So a different thing. Halo Machinima. Holy shit, that took off back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
You think we'll ever see something similar to that again? Not specifically Machinima, because Machinima's just they're gonna go away.
Yeah.
But do you think that we'll see something similar to that, where we're getting all these, like, do you think we'll ever see something like Red vs. Blue or Rise of the Spartans, do you think?
I don't know that we
The
will.
trigger.
Fuck.
Because there's more and more easy access to knowledge and software to just make stuff yourself. If you think about back when Red vs. Blue specifically was made,
They
there
had
was
to use
they were using
They were doing Spectator with the fucking.
in Halo.
They literally
CE.
cut the fucking guns off in CE.
Yeah, they like this is they
There's a
didn't have
goddamn
access.
crosshair.
They didn't have access to stuff like Blender or any of the, like, you know, more widely used free software for animation. That's something people have access to now. If you look at a lot of animators, they like to go through and use their various like drawn style animation programs. There are people that like their 3D animation stuff. I mean, you and I love watching endless hours of Source Filmmaker stuff because
love Source Filmmaker.
it's just good stuff. We just didn't have that back then. And Halo again was one of those games that everybody had access to.
You missed him. Holy fuck. That was more than one explosion.
That was pretty good. So, it's definitely possible, but I don't think so, because now you don't necessarily need to be like, okay, I'm going to be this color, you're going to be that color, and we're going to have to just use this. Versus, like, you can have an idea for an animation or for a series, and you can just make them. You can make those characters that you imagine. You're not going to have to work with the confines of a game necessarily. That was a really good looking animation.
That was another thing that Halo CE was revolutionary in, was the fucking idle animations for, like, you know, check on your weapons and shit. I don't believe any other game before that did that.
They did.
I know that Half-Life did a thing when you were holding the M4, you would sway from side to side, but that was just you holding it.
I know Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask both have idle animations.
Well, yeah, idle animations are I mean, like, FPS-wise, you're just actually fiddling with your equipment, making sure it's good. That was the new thing that they did for fucking FPSs.
Yeah,
There you go.
got him.
Yeah, sway doesn't count as an idle animation.
Well, no, but like in Ocarina of Time, you'd look around, you'd grab your belt and adjust it, and shuffle your boots. You'd have your sword out, and you'd just kind of flip, and just like mess with it. Like they weren't necessarily just swaying. Like you were, it was a bored character doing stuff to entertain themselves while nothing was happening. I'd have to do some thinking and/or research to find like the earliest instance of an actual like good idle animation where they're actually like actively doing something, not just kind of moving. But
Really needs some help. It wouldn't stand in one place, though. Honestly, what I would do is get close to them and get them to chase after you, backpedal, and jump when they start the swing animation. Because that's how you fight them without fucking sticky grenades, honestly. And another player. It's so much easier with another player.
God.
Holy shit. Because they draw aggro.
you just gave up.
I guess.
Chief just needed a nap.
On my way.
She's just gonna take a nap. Take a rest. I want to get, like, I'm not gonna get what I want
On my way.
from FPSs anymore. What I want is another combat evolved level, revolutionary, for multiplayer and everything, but it's not gonna happen the way I want it because we haven't been getting that. Battle Royale was absolutely revolutionary in its own right because that's what everyone's doing now. People like it.
It wasn't
It's good.
revolutionary though. It didn't bring anything
wasn't-
new to the table.
Right, but
Battle Royales have been around for a while.
they have
the
been,
newest thing.
but as an FPS, that was most definitely a revolutionary thing for first-person shooters. I'm talking about specifically first-person shooters revolutionary because I'm getting my revolutionary shit from other stuff. I mean, have you seen Half-Life Alyx? Let's be real here.
Yeah. I think that's where you're gonna get most of your good stuff too, because that's where there's new room to be expressive with is in VR. Not to say there's not more art that can be released on normal, consoles, things like that. There's plenty more, like art. It's not necessarily something that has an end to it, but it's still corporatized anymore. It's all about turning the top dollar. It's all about pumping out content that they think people are going to like between these parameters. It's not necessarily about jumping out and doing something brave and creative in a lot of cases. So unless it's like indie developers that are out there doing stuff, it's probably going to be in VR. Because why would they try something new when the old formula is making them money?
That's again why we need another Crash, because the corporatization of video games was also what caused the fucking crash.
Down with Activision. Down with EA. Down with Blizzard.
I don't know that they'll collapse, but I do think they'll see reformations.
Too big to fail.
No, that's like, hold on, they can fail.
That was some Borderlands looking shit for a second there.
This is as far as I can go.
I'm gonna
Roger
grab
that.
some water
We'll
real
be
quick.
able to
My
find
water
our way
bottle's
to
on
the
the fucking
control
counter.
center from here. Good luck. Bullhammer out.
So, in addition to my previous question, you guys should, let us know what you're thinking about as far as gaming goes. What do you miss? What do you want back? What do you want to change? What do you never want to see again? It's a pretty
My mic really got out of whack there.
pretty interesting thing to ponder over.
There we go.
I would try a Halo game in VR.
Same.
I think that would
That's
actually
a
work.
bit fishy.
What?
Blood is a flavor in my mouth right now.
Yeah, that's not good. Also, I imagine it'd be more coppery.
Oh, it's something. Anyway, continue. I'm dying, but that's okay.
Well,
Interesting.
like,
Oh
The
my
weather
god, you're at
patterns
the
here seem
snow and
natural,
it's
not
awesome.
artificial. I wonder if the
I
ring's
fucking love the
environment
snow
systems are
levels.
malfunctioning, or if the
one
designers
thing I
wanna
hate
be
about
installation to have
shooters in
inclement
VR right now is aiming. Not that, like, you gotta kind of get used to it, but it's still something very new, and it doesn't work
I
as
didn't
well as
think
it
there were
could.
any human forces
Pavlov
left
works
on this.
excellently. It's a matter of the bullets, kick, and projectile spread that makes it annoying.
Well, I think a setup more like Halo, where you're like, you're a super soldier, you're designed to be able to hip fire effectively. You have these layouts on screen, and it's just like, that's what to be expected. This game was built from the first person. Everything on screen is supposed to be on screen because that's what cheats means. That just kind of screams that's the ideal VR experience. They kind of made that with the intention of this being what the person's supposed to actually be seeing. So why not take it that next step? Why not go one step further? And the answer is because it can't happen the next one. But I don't
Bring
think
back,
that-
okay,
I
you
don't-
asked me things that I'd like to see come back. I want the Kinect to come back.
I think they need to give up on the Kinect, but
They did.
I think they need
They
to.
did give up on the Kinect, and
I-
there was some decent shit for it. Alien Isolation, holy shit, that was amazing.
If they want to jump into VR, that's different. If they want to actually put their big boy
The
pants
weather
on,
patterns here seem
and step
natural,
into
not
this new
artificial.
area,
I wonder if the ring's
that would be
environment
good.
systems
And
are
releasing like
Or
a
if the designers
actually
wanted these
good
features.
VR supported game for Halo Infinite, I would actually try it, even if the game itself had bad writing.
Or not.
I didn't think there were any.
That's
You didn't
Adios.
kill the first one, and so he stuck you with a plasma. But that was definitely one of the most entertaining deaths to watch.
Patterns here seem natural, not
But
artificial.
even if I
wonder
knew
the
that the
ring's
game was going to be
environment systems are
really shit
malfunctioning, or
content-wise,
if the designers wanted
just
these
to
features
try the
to have
gameplay,
inclement
because
weather.
I think that could be a really good way to kind of reinvigorate the Halo franchise.
I didn't think there were any human forces left on this planet.
Because, like, if you're gonna keep beating on Chief like that, think about being Alex.
We're on our way.
Think about that moment of you're getting handed a crowbar, you're looking at the gloves that you're wearing, you're realizing, holy shit, I am Gordon Freeman. I really think you could have that same sort of thing, that same sort of moment as like a Chief moment. And hell, you could maybe even do like a partner thing where you get like a fucking Bluetooth battle rifle. Like just a cheap controller that actually operates as a normal VR controller.
That's
but that
an
way,
amazing
The weather
collector's
patterns
edition.
here
He's
seem
still
natural,
alive.
not
and it
artificial.
would
I
it'd
wonder if the
go
ring's
really
environment
good with the
systems are
game
malfunctioning,
because it would actually give
or
you
if
the
designers
feel of what
wanted
you're
the
doing.
installation to have inclement weather.
Yeah.
I think that Halo, that would be a really, really good move for them. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think
I
they
didn't
would
think
go
there
there
were any human
because
forces left
they're
on this
either
planet.
going to do it and it's going to be
Cortana
shit.
departing Zulu.
They're not going to put enough time into it, or they're going to be worried that not enough people are going to, buy it, or use it for VR. They're just like, oh, it's gonna get on Xbox, so we're just gonna make it for the Xbox. So they're not gonna, worry about doing it in the first place. Or they could try to copy Valve and make it only Xbox, in which case they're going to lose a lot of people that aren't going to get on VR.
Right.
I said that backwards. They're going to try to do it only in VR, so they're going to lose a lot of people that are only on Xbox.
I do think a hybrid thing like No Man's Sky would be pretty great for,
They just
honestly, Halo Infinite.
Halo, like, they can make a Halo game. They've made 2 of them already. They've remastered them. They know how to make it and make it okay. They need to spend time making the VR good. Even if they release VR support later, after the initial release of Halo Infinite, that would be okay. Spend your time and make it good. I want you guys, 343, if you want to do this, I want you to play Fallout 4 VR. I want you to play Skyrim VR. And recognize that they are absolute shit. Because they just lazily ported the game over and didn't really put the time and effort into it needed to make it a good VR game.
Even something like, even Dirt and Dirt 2. Actually, Dirt 2 dropped with it. It's just still not the greatest because you have to use your fucking keyboard or controller. Like, it's a game that was made and then they decided they wanted VR. However, unlike Fallout 4, it was a good game without,
Release 2 editions even. That would be fine. Release a VR version and a console version. That way you can have, you can have it optimized for either, so you're not going to get a half-baked experience. And make it so if you want to have both editions, you have to pay 120 bucks. You got to buy both copies. That would be okay. Just take that chance to spread into that new market because I think it's a really good place. Can you imagine being a Spartan and running around and then having an elite round that corner on you and be that much bigger than you and Borg at you?
Like,
I think that would be...
this is talking about, like, next-gen fucking stuff, right? But, like, one of the last scenes in...
Out of there!
One of the last scenes in... basically the last cutscene, Lone Wolf, the last mission of Halo Reach.
The weather patterns here seem
When
neutral,
you
not
get
artificial. I wonder
picked
if
up by the
environment
fucking
systems
neck
are
and
malfunctioning,
slammed to the ground.
or if the
Could you
designers
imagine
wanted the installation
rounding
to
a
have
corner as a
input
Spartan and getting fucking clothesline in VR? And, like, not feeling all of it, but, like, feeling the inertia, the momentum of being clothesline, the disorientation. You need to be careful, You're... And this is going into fucking...
Also,
This is going into Reach again, as just from Halo and just the lore-wise. You are not a super soldier. You are a soldier built to combat a superior life form. You are not the murderer of elites. You are a one. You are less than an elite.
I didn't think there were any human forces left on the
Barely less than an elite.
Cortana to Fireteam Zulu. I read you.
and something I think VR in general needs to start doing more of is making seated gaming okay. Because currently we don't have the room or the ability, like, you gotta remember the audience you're going to. We have things like, rifts and controllers in our bedrooms where we don't have a lot of room to be able to play, and the extended play when you're standing, that shit hurts your back really quick. Like, you're playing Pavlov for 4 hours, then yeah, you gotta stop, not because your eyes are tired or your computer's lagging, but because your back hurts, you gotta stop. And that's something I noticed with No Man's Sky that's really, really nice, is I sit while I play. And it works really, really well. It feels good to do. I think if they did a Halo VR, they need to either put in a mode for seated play or make it so you can just sit and play. Because then you can especially have more jarring scenes like that, where you get clothesline and you don't need to worry about people fucking getting disoriented and falling on their asses and suing. No, recommend it for seated play because you're going to have a lot of high motion stuff. You're going to have a lot of those
I
moments.
just want Nerf gear, man. I would totally be trapped in a fucking MMO.
You have no idea. You have
Like,
no idea.
SAO is absolute shit. Oh my god, is that the worst fucking anime I have actually watched.
SAO Abridged is a masterpiece.
But if Nerve Gear was a thing, completely immobilized my body, but it was a fully, perfectly immersive world, you bet your fucking ass I would risk my fucking life to be in that ship.
Yeah, I would like.
I want to be a space cowboy.
I
There
probably,
is nothing more I want in life.
I probably wouldn't even do anything outside of work. Like I have to still work because I have to make money to maintain this lifestyle.
Well,
but
you
yeah.
wouldn't leave. You'd be stuck for 3 years.
Oh, well, you're saying if we got like
No,
actually
like
got
I would
stuck,
literally, yeah, no. If that was a thing that happened, I'd still be okay with it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind at all.
Especially like the level. My favorite character in
Weather patterns here seem
SAO
natural,
was the
not
blacksmith.
I wonder if the ring's environment systems are malfunctioning, or if the designers
Name's
wanted
Tiffany.
the installation
Not
to have
Tiffany.
inclement
The other one who was just like, yeah, I am in this random town. I am the fucking best.
Oh,
And she was the best.
I'll fucking
I
bring
would-
your
weather.
shop
Think there were any
down.
human
I
forces
would
left on this
absolutely like love
Cortana
to just
Fire
be
Team
that.
Zulu. I read
You
you.
know, not
Fire Team Zulu,
Not
this
a
is
lolly.
Cortana. Hold position. We're on our
She
way.
but
wasn't
the
a
best
lolly.
shop. But the best shop.
She
But
was
the
a-
best
way
shopkeep.
too.
But the best shopkeep. I'd like to move on, please. But the best shopkeep in just some random back ass town. I would totally be on a higher level of the dungeon, just a shopkeep then.
So what
Why?
you're saying is your
Because-
ultimate dream is to be able to have fulfilling work and own your own home in a place that wasn't constantly demanding more taxes of you?
Yes.
That's all we want anymore, guys. We just want fulfillment.
What?
So Max,
Where was he?
here's my recommendation. You
Okay,
burst
you
out
said-
here. Okay. All right.
that's my recommendation.
So,
Thank God.
did you didn't change it?
No.
The
So,
weather patterns here seem natural, not artificial. I wonder if the ring's environment systems are malfunctioning, or if the designers wanted the installation to have inclement weather.
This is Fire Team Zulu requesting immediate assistance from any UNSC forces. Does anyone copy? Over.
I didn't think there were any human forces left on this part of the ring.
Cortana to Fire Team Zulu. I read you. Fire Team Zulu, this is Cortana. Hold position. We're on our way.
Roger that. Make it quick.
but notice how much fewer rounds I wasted because I didn't fucking waste them on the first 2 grunts because if you knock them out, they don't wake up. I mean, obviously.
Sweet.
I mean, the other ones don't wake up. Also, they don't know where the fuck I'm at. As I blast a hole in the ground.
This music is a really nice touch.
Now, where's Golden Boy? I'm gonna have to say no to that, Chief. Oh, fuck. Get fucked.
Goodbye.
There's one more. That's how you do it.
Attaboy.
Oh, level design. Let's talk about that. So, one of the complaints that Noodle had was like, there was arrows on the fucking floor. However, like, yeah, that's the way early FPSs were. They'd have to fucking tell you to go to places sometimes, or they wouldn't. But, oh my god, was Halo amazing with that, in the sense that you can't, unless you're really thinking about, oh my god, this arrow's telling me where to go, you're seeing lights on the floor. You know? That's it. And it's just really, really well and subtle level design that tells you where to go.
And honestly, developers don't shy away from that. You know, shit like that, or like in Dead Space, the hollow line that you can create on the floor.
Or
Don't
Black
be-
Mesa, where it's literally a scientific compound and they have lines on those in real scientific compounds on the fucking floor to tell you where to go.
Yeah, don't shy away from telling players how to get through places, because you want to have grand hallways and whatnot.
But make
That's
it fit.
great. Just, huh?
But make it fit.
Yeah, don't make it jarring, but if you find a way to make it so you can guide players through an area,
And like,
so
I
they
don't-
can understand how hopelessly big this place is, that's fine. That's perfectly okay.
I know you can only see it like in rare occasions or when you pull out your ghost, but like the way Destiny does it, I don't like the diamond in the doorway. I would much rather a subtle way of telling me if that's where I need to go.
I don't like the diamond in the doorway because I ran in circles for a while the other day trying to figure out where I was supposed to go. Come to find out, it was not even close to the place it told me it was. It's just ambiguous all the time.
Like, yeah. When you connect it, it does it.
Like, it makes sense for like to have the diamond in the doorway because that's your ghost telling you where to go.
Right.
That's your ghost straight up being like,
Yeah.
go, that, you know, here's a place of interest. Same thing with if there's resources or chests or quests or whatnot nearby, your ghost will just let you know what's nearby. But even then, it doesn't necessarily tell enough, so that's like, it fits thematically with the game, but it's an instance of something that's
It's just a bit intrusive.
it's
for
too
me.
intrusive and it doesn't give you enough information. Versus small arrows and arrow-shaped lights on the floor, they do the entire job.
Absolutely. Oh, this was exactly the scene you were talking about, by the way, actually, Noodle. Listen to this fucking music to this firefight, you know?
It's just, yeah. The complete matter of fuck your themes, this is my music that went in this. And I know, they pumped this out in like a week, I think. It was like...
Yeah.
It was not very much time. So they just kind of did what they were going to do, but like... Oh my god.
It's fucking peak entertainment.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I do have a great respect for Halo CE as a game because of how it came into existence, what
And
it did
what
for
it's
gaming,
yeah,
and
what it's done for gaming.
what it turned, like what the product was, like not just the circumstances under which what it was, you know, what it was born, but what it actually came out as too. Because it paints a very, very surreal picture of something that was really good. And I think it just kind of shows
the fucking heads.
what Bungie's capable of as a company, as developers, at least at that point. And I think they still are. I think they still have it in them to be that great. And I've seen a lot of that in Destiny. I've seen a lot of that greatness in Destiny, and honestly, I'm really excited for the new IP.
I'm really interested because, like, if you look at what Bungie's created since 2000, and what, like, their new project has been described as being, it does not add up. They have not made a bright game. Honestly, I don't know when the last time they made a bright game is, because the one they made before this was an RTS. Like, yeah, it was kind of colorful, I guess,
But
at the same time, like,
it was gritty.
right, but this has been talking about a much more colorful game, and I want to see what that's going to manifest as.
I do too. I want to see their brains just go hog wild on something and just let everything out. And I am a fucking sucker when you throw nothing but a bunch of bright colors at me and cheerful music. Like, that gets me going in the best way. And so if Bungie's gonna make this happen, like, you know what I want? I don't want a lifestyle game. I don't want something where they're gonna keep giving this DLC. I want this to be a game that they ship and it's done. Patches, yeah, that's fine. Maybe like one or two DLCs, because it's kind of hard to not ship games and do DLCs later. But like, I don't want another Destiny. I don't want an online game that's going to be something that exists for a while in one state. I want a packaged experience.
Destiny's like, it shows a big plot. So another thing that I want to come back in gaming, fucking New Vegas level DLCs. You get whole ass campaigns for that shit. Like, Destiny is on the tail end of that. They're still doing it, but most games aren't doing that anymore. And most of the stuff was supposed to be the base game anyway, which would have been really fucking cool. But the campaign overall for the DLCs was short. Meanwhile, fucking New Vegas, like, so you go all over the place and you learn about the lands and the people in Honest Hearts. It's really cool DLC. I haven't played through Dead Money, but it's really cool. It's a fucking heist DLC, and that's the whole thing it is. And it's this massive thing. New sandboxes for both of those. You know, new, like, well, the loose term of sandbox that is used as just to describe open world now. Old World Blues. Oh my god, I love Old World Blues. I hate the quest line in general because it's just a massive fucking fetch quest, and there's some cool places, I guess, in the map for Big NT, but like the characters are so unique and fucking awesome. I love the doctors. And then there's fucking I don't know what the last one's called. It's not the Long Mile or the Long 15, but it's Lonesome Roads. It adds a revenge plotline, but not your revenge plotline. And that was really fucking cool. It's really fucking cool, actually. And it added another massive sandbox, and then like, you could really affect the two of the standing factions in that DLC. I'm not gonna go into it because you're gonna play through that later.
Yeah.
Not for the channel. He's for doing that on the side. But yeah, and so that's literally like a bunch of DLCs, and they couldn't have cost that much. I don't think they really cost. I don't really know because I wasn't playing it at the time when the DLCs came out. But they couldn't have cost that much, and that was like, oh my god, those were all individually awesome fucking DLCs.
Yeah, I'm all for a DLC. I don't mind it at all, so long as you're actually shipping content. So long
Blood
as you're-
Dragon is another good example. Blood
Yes.
Dragon's a DLC,
It's a
but you can
standalone.
buy it as it was
Yeah.
a DLC, but you can buy it as a standalone game. And it is literally got an entirely new area. Everything is reskinned. And a massive fucking storyline. All sorts of side quests. It's literally a full Far Cry game, but it is just a DLC. Same with ODST, really, actually. That was a DLC.
for 3.
But you don't see that anymore.
And you know, I'm okay with you guys charging like $60 for these DLCs because they of themselves
If
are
you
basically
make
a new
fucking
game.
full game DLC,
Yeah,
hell
you
yeah.
just ship that much content. Like, I don't need like, if the base game has 5 worlds, I don't need 5 new worlds in the DLC. But put in like 2 new maps in there and put in a full campaign that takes you through old and new. Like it's not that hard to do. I
The
would pay-
following, $20. It's always been $20 for Dying Light. Like, you've played Dying Light. It's
Yeah.
got a massive fucking. It's got 2 massive maps, but you haven't gotten to the second one yet. It's got this massive fucking map. You parkour around it, but those maps are actually small. The following is huge, so huge that they gave you cars to traverse it.
Oh my.
Right? Yeah.
Oh my.
I don't like the way they dealt with the endings where you literally lose your fucking character and you can't New Game Plus. But still, I would have paid full fucking price for just the following.
And you know, personally, I think Destiny's okay with how they're doing it. You spend like a couple extra dollars on the, on a DLC, and you get a season pass too, and you're gonna do season content. That's fine, but I don't really like the focus on seasonal content. And it's not just Destiny that's doing that.
It's everything doing it.
Yeah,
anymore,
Fortnite does it a lot right now. Like, they're a big thing that's driving that sort of mentality too. And I don't necessarily like that because it's putting more and more pressure on the idea of lifestyle games, and I don't think we need to be doing that. I don't think lifestyle games are really good because it's more about how can we make people continue playing our games, not what good games can we make.
Yeah.
It's not about telling a story anymore. It's about keeping people involved in you making money.
There is, I don't know what button that's gonna be. It might be the grenade button, but a trigger for a coaxial mounted MG.
And the big boomstick. He died in the tank.
Well, you can get shot out of the tank, so.
Yeah, but he didn't shoot anything with the tank.
Yeah.
Well, I think for now, that's probably it. Thanks, guys, for chilling out with us, and I guess that's back to Battle Stations.